Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Currently under the weather. I haven't been sick in the longest time, and here I am sick. I have my box of tissues here, I have my coffee, and I have my big comfy sweater on. So I thought this would be a good day to show you guys my makeup routine for like a sick day or when I'm blowing my nose a lot. You know, we all get sick, and this is just my realistic makeup routine if you have to leave the house. I wish I did not have to leave my house today, but unfortunately I do, and I want to look presentable to society today. But I just want to kind of look better, that way I feel better inside, that way I don't look in the mirror, don't see my dark circles and my puffy face and then just feel like worse. So this is just my realistic sick makeup routine, so let's go ahead and get started. So I decided to put my hair up because I keep getting hot and then cold, and right now I am just like burning up right now. Alrighty, so here we go. Tip number one. First thing that I would recommend that you do before you first start your makeup application is blow your nose. You want to get all of it out before you start your makeup. That way in the middle of the makeup process and stuff, you're not like going back and kind of interrupting the makeup that we've put on. So get it all out right now. Go ahead and blow your nose. Second step is that you want to make sure that your skin is very moisturized. When I tend to get sick, my skin gets super dry. My favorite moisturizer is a Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer. This stuff is amazing, super hydrating. I've already done like my morning skincare. I am going to put a little bit more around my nose area because as the more and more you blow your nose, the skin around your nose can become very dry, very sensitive, and especially if you want to put makeup on that day, the foundation or powders, whatever you're doing, concealer, can really stick to that area and draw attention to it. So no matter what, you want to make sure that your skin is nice and moisturized. Then what I'm going to do is, just because I feel like I could use a little bit of a refresher right now, is I'm going to go ahead and take my Pearl Essence Coconut Rose Hydrating Face Mist, and I actually picked this one up at Marshall's. It honestly just feels so good on the skin right now. I just feel like I need all the moisture I can get. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. Feels so good. Alrighty, so while that is all settling in the skin and drying up, I'm gonna apply some chapstick. I'm just using whatever's left of my EOS balm. So what I would recommend, if you don't do anything else from this video, is I would recommend that you fill in your eyebrows. Today I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil, and this is just in the Universal shade. I feel like when your eyebrows are done, they really just frame your face. And some days, like if I'm not wearing makeup at all to, let's say, go grocery shopping, I'll at least like fill in my eyebrows the slightest bit, put some brow gel, and then I'm good to go. But brows just really frame your face, and they just really make a difference in making your face look done in a sense. So if you do anything from this video, I would recommend just filling in your brows. So now that my brows are just very lightly filled in, I didn't do them too dramatic or really cut them out with concealer, anything like that. I just really filled in the sparse areas just so that way they look more done. And something that I have to do regardless of whether I'm sick or not is I will just set my brows with a brow gel because my brow hairs are crazy. And the one that I'm using today is the Ultimate Brow Mascara by Wet n Wild. And what we're going to do is prime the skin. If you are more on the dry side, I would recommend using a little bit more of a hydrating primer. One of my favorite ones that I like to use when I'm feeling a little dry is the NYX Hydra Touch primer. This stuff is really, really good and very hydrating. The one that I'm going to use today is also feels like very refreshing and cooling on the skin, but still gives me more of a matte finish because I am more oily, and that is the Benefit Professional. This is the Matte Rescue. So it does come out in a gel consistency. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit, warm it up between my fingers, and I'm just going to press it in around my nose because I know that's where I'm going to have an issue with today. So I'm just pressing this in pretty much into my T-zone where I normally would. So sometimes I will just go in with concealer. My favorite one at the moment is this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Sometimes though, when I find that I'm using concealer, I end up spending more time blending it out because I end up using it almost as like a full foundation all over, because I start off with my eyes, little blemishes, and I'm like, what the heck, I might as well just put it all over. At that point, I just go in with a super light layer of foundation. But before I do that, I want to give you guys a little tip. If you or someone, maybe you are really sick and you do have to leave your house and you want to wear a little bit of makeup, or maybe you deal with allergies, this is something that has really worked for me, especially on sick days like today. So what I recommend you doing is taking a foundation you can rely on that is full coverage or super long wearing, or that you notice that you tend to wear it when you need something to hold up really well on your skin. For me, that is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation in a tube like this. And I am in the shade NC30. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little dab of this right on my finger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this around my nose, because this area is what I'm worried about. This is the area that I don't want it to spread apart or come off. I'm doing this only on the nose area because later on, as the day progresses, I am blowing my nose. I don't want my makeup around my nose just to come off and then I just have a red nose all day. So that's why I am just taking this one extra step and really pressing in this waterproof full coverage foundation just around my nose. So that is it with this foundation. That's all you need for this full coverage look, just on your nose. Next, I'm going to go in with a very light layer of foundation, and the one I'm going to be using today is the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Vitalist foundation. Today I'm going to be mixing the shades 725 and 745, and I'm just taking my wet sponge and just quickly blending this in. And really, I'm just using this just to help to even out my skin tone. Alrighty guys, so now that the foundation is completely blended out and it took less than a minute, what I'm going to be doing now is going in with some concealer because my dark circles are still there. I'm just going to put just a little bit right here in this inner corner because really I'm not trying to highlight and all that stuff. I'm really just trying to conceal the darkness. So I'm going to go ahead again with my beauty blender and I am going to bring it onto my lid. Alrighty guys, so I am feeling so much more like myself now, and as you guys can see, putting that concealer pretty much all in this area really helped to brighten my eyes, make me look more awake, make me look a little healthier. What I'm going to do next is take my LA Girl Pro High Definition Setting Powder, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this right in the cap. Just going to make sure this concealer is nicely blended out. I'm going to take whatever powders here in the cap onto my sponge, and I'm just going to press this in just to set the concealer, because one of my biggest things that I do not like is when my concealer is creasing. And with the same powder, I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. I'm just going to lightly dust this onto my skin just to set the rest of the face. Now our full face is pretty much done. It looks very evened out. It looks a lot better, but now I feel like very flat. So I'm going to add some dimension in by doing a quick bronzer. This is my favorite one. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer. I'm just taking this on a big fluffy brush because really I'm just trying to add back some color into my skin. And it does have like the tiniest bit of shimmer in it. So it's gonna just give us like that healthy looking bronze and glow. And then for blush, you do want to add a little bit of color to your face. If you just like bronzer, then you could go ahead and just do that. The blush I'm using today is Milani Luminoso. I love using this blush because it does add the tiniest bit of a luminous shine right here. It just helps you look a lot more healthier. I feel like a lot more myself once I have blush on and add some color back to my skin. Now this is a step that you guys can skip. I would show you guys anyway because sometimes I will do this. I will just take whatever bronzer I'm using and a big fluffy brush, and I will just throw this in the crease of my eye, just blend it back and forth. It does not have to be perfect whatsoever, but because we put the concealer on there, the eye can look kind of flat. So this is just going to add some dimension and some depth back to the eye. And then we are just going to highlight. For that, I'm taking my Pure Bronze and Brighten highlighting palette. This I got in my BoxyCharm box, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here and just doing a little bit of a highlight. Again, this is just going to give you like that healthy looking glow that I can use today. And I'm going to be taking the same highlighting shade right here, And I'm just going to be taking that. I'm going to be placing this right on the arches of my brow bone. This is again going to help to really brighten and open the eye. That way you just look awake, even though the last thing you want to do is be leaving your house. Really help to brighten and open up the eyes. As you guys can see, makes a world of a difference. So last step is applying some mascara. I always recommend that you curl your lashes because this is really going to help to lift your eye. Again, all with the same thing, making you look more awake, not so tired, just brighten your eyes and giving your eyes a little bit of a lift. Alright guys, so mascara is done. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply a gloss to my lips. This is by Essence. This is what it looks like. But I love the color that it gives, and it honestly hydrates my lips. So a last step that you guys can do, which is of course optional, you guys could go ahead and use a hydrating face mist again. This is really going to help to bring moisture and just refresh your skin. Or you can use like a setting spray that's going to help keep this put all day long. I feel good about it. I like it. I feel like I could go out and just feel good, not to feel like how I feel like on the inside. I would say that this is a huge improvement from how I first started the video. I was looking a little scary. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. I really hope it was helpful for you guys and you guys picked up some tips. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video when hopefully I'm feeling a little better. Bye guys.